original question was going to be where will the grand final be played, but Webby, on the back of your reporting this morning, suggesting New Zealand with the fact that Eden Park had a full house. Is that a viable option?
I spoke to Andrew Abdo this morning. I was quite surprised. The idea of possibly playing the grand final, or using it as an option of playing a grand final in New Zealand, was pretty much dismissed last week. But then when they saw a near-capacity crowd for that Bledisloe Cup match last night, about 47,000 there, they have the NRL thinking, you know, they're going to at least have to ask the question. If they can get exemptions for teams to get in there without having to quarantine, which the Wallabies had to do, then that would make it a viable option. I don't think it's the preferred option. I still think Brisbane would be, and Suncorp is the preferred option. And given the fact that that lockdown has lifted in Queensland this morning, that's encouraging. But because the situation is so volatile, they've just got to keep all their cards on the table. Andrew Abdo said to me, it was really interesting, he said this morning that they would have to make a decision by the start of the final series. So, you know, it's getting to D-Day for the NRL about the grand final.
One of the major factors in the Wallabies being able to, and the Bledisloe being held in New Zealand last night, was the financial gain that the New Zealand economy gained out of hosting that event. The NRL would need to prove to the New Zealand government the financial impact for New Zealand out of hosting the NRL grand final over there. Are they as guaranteed to get that maximum crowd as what the Bledisloe gets?
I reckon they would for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, if it's a game of that magnitude being played in Auckland, I reckon they get a full crowd there. And I think it's more because it's a live, active market for rugby league as opposed to Perth. I think the NRL would probably go that way.
With all due respect to New Zealand and what they've sacrificed, how would that be received? Well, generally, I mean.
Yeah, look, I think they haven't watched rugby league for 2 years now. I think it'll be well received. It's going to come down to what the alternatives are. If there are no crowds available in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne, then I think they will they'll try and get the exemptions to go over there. And at the moment, they've been lifted to, 50% back in Queensland. That might be enough for Queensland to hold on to
What's making the NRL also nervous is the fact of how quickly the Queensland government
can change.
Yep. So they can lock in the grand final at Suncorp in the first week of the finals, as you're saying, Webby. But there's no guarantee that those crowds are going to be there.